I went to bed at midnight, and I woke up at 4:30. 0430 hours. Who does that? I notice I don't sleep. Like I fall asleep, but I can't stay asleep. And I wake up and I'm thinking in my head, all I could think about is the video that I made yesterday. I made a video yesterday that I didn't post. It took me all day to make it, edited it all day, and I didn't post it. I sat on it. I sat on it thinking, should I post this? I came across like a dick, like an angry dick. But I wondered to myself, why? What made me think in my head to sit on it? And I realized it was because of something I learned from an inspector in Duncan. I'm working in Duncan. I don't got a whole lot of years. I thought I was something else. I'm going to try to make this quick. When I was working in Duncan, we had what was called a computer system called Rhodes. Computer, laptop, in our car, it was Rhodes. Rhodes was amazing. I don't know what example I'm going to give, but let's say you get a call of kids on the roof of a school. You show up to that call, they're not there. Okay? They're gone. You go to write up the file in your car. Literally, all you do, everything's already added. Corporal Jaworski, Constable Jaworski, whatever, attended the scene, GOA, which means gone on arrival. NFAR, CH, no further action required, CH. 9 seconds to write up that file. Then they came out with Prime, okay? Which in my opinion helped ruin policing, but we all had to be for Prime. We had to have a good attitude for Prime. That 9-second file now turned into 10 minutes. You could no longer do that. You had to add everything. You had to add the complainant. You had to add the school as an other or a business or whatever. You had to, 2020, July 1st at 0500 hours, Corporal Jaworski attended this location, Whistler Street. Complainant, put the complainant's name. This is who called. You get my point. Prime sucks. It does. It sucks, but it's supposed to be better. It's not. It's not better. But we had to go on a course. Everybody had to take this Prime course. I can't remember. It was 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. I don't know. And I'm sitting by a guy during the course, and he was like a negative Nancy about this Prime. Everybody was, but I wasn't saying anything. I was being positive. And he was going on and on the entire time. And I'm like, holy shit, the instructors can hear you, man. So Prime's over. Course is over. I go back to the detachment in Duncan. And the inspector comes up to my watch commander and says, I got a complaint from the instructors that Clint wasn't positive about the Prime course. He was being disruptive. And I tell my watch commander, what the fuck? That wasn't me. That was so-and-so. The instructor got the names mixed up. I know that for a fact. So I sit down, and what do? I write the inspector an email. And I'm like, how dare you? How dare you? I said a bunch of things on it that I shouldn't have said. And it was a good half page. And I'm like, I'm no fool here, okay? I'm no fool. I know how important this shit is. I was positive. You don't talk to my watch commander like that. And I go home and I print off the email that I already sent immediately to the inspector of the detachment. And I go home and I'm like, I say to the girlfriend, I'm like, look at this. Look what I wrote the inspector today. He doesn't talk to me like that. And she looks at it and she goes, oh my God, Clint, you actually sent this to him? And I'm like, yeah. Well, look what you put at the end here. I'm no fool. What? I'm no fool? Hey, Linton, I'm no fool. And she started talking like I was acting like Mr. T or something. You ain't no fool. I'm no fool. And we have a conversation about it, and I can't sleep that night because I can't believe I sent it. So I go back to work the next day hoping that I can delete it without him reading it, but he already opened it and he sent me something. It was only a sentence. I can't really remember how he sent it, how he put it, but he basically said, I'm going to give you some advice. Review or sit on it or something like that before you hit send. There's a saying now about it. Maybe you could help me out with what that means, or how he said it, how he put it. But it was kind of like measure twice, cut once, but with emails, sit on the email before you send it. And that's all he said. That's all he said. And a couple days later, I went down the hallway past his door, and his door was open, and he's sitting there, and I'm like, hey, are we good? And he goes, yeah, we're good. Probably the best inspector I had was Linton. I think that's what his name was. He was a good inspector. He didn't have to pull me into the office and berate me. Just give me some advice. It's great advice. I used that advice a lot. I wrote a lot of emails, sat on them, and never sent them. I remember one day I'm in the parking lot, I'm in my cop car, and it's a great after, it's about 5 p.m, it's springtime. I'm excited to start the shift. And I'm coming around the corner in the parking lot, the police parking lot, and I hammer the gas, and I do a little wheelie. Fuck, who's coming the other way in the parking lot? Linton. And all he did was that. Just that. And I went, that's all he had to do. That's all he had to do. He didn't have to take any extreme measures. I never did it again. Bosses that don't even have to say anything with just a look. How great is that? What's the point of my story? Why did I start talking about Prime and roads? Yes, my video. I sat on my video, and I'm glad I didn't post it.